Welcome back, boys and girls. This is Beyond the Barrel Bourbon, live with the one and only Adam Fayard. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
No problem. Glad to be here.
I'm Eric. That is Phil.
I'm Phil.
Today, anyway. Tomorrow, he's going to be Santa Claus's little elf again. But...
Adam, the whiskey warlock.
Yeah. Todd, got your wand. Adam, what we doing today, dude?
So,
we know, but I want you to tell them.
Yeah, I wanted to bring on something new that we just dropped. Some of y'all might have been seeing posts about the whiskey tree. We brought the wheated in the high rye today. We'll be trying the high rye. It is a really delicious 8-year-old Kentucky bourbon, 36% rye mash bill. Nancy Fraley is a master blender. She's the one who blended it. 40-barrel blend. We've increased our barrel blend size from 18 barrels to 40 barrels, which has been really good for us because we're going to get a lot better, more consistent product. The batches we're very excited for these new batches that are coming out. So
let's do this. Let's start fresh cracking it and let it open up a little bit. Do you want to do the honors?
Sure.
Or do you want me to pop it into the mic over here?
You can if you want. I'll take this off.
Well, we'll let you debacle with the. Oh look, see, come on, Maker's Mark, get your stuff together, man. You saw how easy that was.
So the Whiskey Tree is actually a real place. For those who've never heard of it, it's a real place.
You ready?
Yep. Ooh, not too bad.
It's not too bad.
Like I was saying, the Whiskey Tree is a real place that you can go visit on the Honey Island Swamp. The other arm of our business is Cajun Encounter Swamp Tours, and we bring people out to the Whiskey Tree every day to go hear the story. It is a meeting place, or was a meeting place during Prohibition for moonshiners and bootleggers. They would meet up, talk pricing, talk strategy, make their deals, go to New Orleans, sell their goods, and repeat their cycle again.
Didn't they hide the whiskey in the tree, or hide the moonshine in the tree at some point?
Sometimes there's rumors of them doing that. Yeah.
So if y'all take a ride out there with them, they might have some hidden whiskey tree in the whiskey tree.
It's a great looking bottle, though.
The bottles are gorgeous.
Yeah, so we have
the latitude and the longitude on there.
We have the coordinates on the bottle, so you can actually go see the real Whiskey Tree online. We even put a little QR code right here, so where we have a video, a really cool video of Luke, our head distiller, and he's explaining the story behind the Whiskey Tree and its history. And
hey, Luca.
And it's we're very excited about this line. This is something that we're bringing little Louisiana history to the shelves, and then also we're providing really good quality whiskey for very affordable prices.
And if you buy both, it's Christmas colored.
It is Christmas colored.
There you go.
I've been looking forward to this one. I know you'd brought it up to us. We've been looking forward to this one just because he and I are both big high rye fans in general. I'm curious to see if he's going to get pencil shavings again on this one.
So on this one, I don't think you're going to get as much wood as some of the other high ryes that I've had out there. Mm-hmm. This specific blend, I get a lot of berries, a lot of earthy tones.
I'm getting some fruit on the nose.
Very heavy fruit. It's very thick and viscous. It is 8 years old, and it is Kentucky bourbon. So,
is that the first time y'all are bringing Kentucky in?
Yes.
To y'all's blends? Okay,
yes.
Cool. That's awesome. I knew there was something special about it when y'all said Kentucky bourbon, or Kentucky whiskey. So I was like, okay, right. So I feel like that's a little bit different than what the normal whiskey tree.
Right, and you
are getting some spice here, though.
Yeah, I mean you'll get a little rye spice on the finish of the palate, but the front and the mid palate are straight. I like to say that commercial, that berries and cream. That's exactly what I get on it.
I watched that commercial not long ago. Yeah. Starburst case. That's a 90s thing.
Thanks, man.
A lot of people wouldn't understand
the 90s thing. They didn't touch tips with us. See how guy there. Well, cheers, Phil.
All right, let's see what we... Wait. No gold.
That is fabulous. That's fruity. Like crazy fruity.
You get fruit. You are getting that spice, but there's something else there that I like, but I can't put my finger on it. Almost like a candy, like
it's very sweet.
Fig, peaches.
This is super.
It might be fig.
It might be fig. I'm getting more strawberry, but I think I get that when you get fig, I tend to get a little bit more strawberry on it. But this is Dude, this is like dessert.
Yeah, it's a fantastic whiskey.
It finishes extremely well.
$59.99 on the shelf too, so a very affordable price.
Well, the good thing is that you're getting some balance in there with the fruit, but you are still getting a taste of those kind of earthier rye tones in there, in some of the spices in there, which a lot of times when I get fruit on a pour, it kind of softens it out, to where it's a little soft on your palate. It might not. It might drink a little mellow.
Todd says you're trying to appropriate his name.
Oh, jeez.
Well, you know what?
Pretty big hug here for 100 proof.
Yes, man. Yes, dude, I love this. It finishes sweet, like it's
We don't call it the Kentucky Hug. We've been calling it Louisiana Love.
I love the Louisiana Love.
Yeah, there we go. We gotta take hold. Yep, we gotta take hold of our own stuff.
For 100 proof.
This is awesome. Up until what? Maybe last week. This was distillery only.
Correct. Yeah, it just hit shelves today. So first bottles that went out, it'll be more readily available in 2025. But we only had a limited run to get started. Okay. So.
And this is going to be a
staple. It'll be a staple,
nice.
Flagship, cornerstone, dude, whatever you want to call it. This will be on the shelf.
It'll be double oaked in bourbon casks. Yeah, this is really good, man.
You're talking about a $60 craft distillery.
Local.
Pour from the nose of Nancy Fraley.
Man, she knows
palate.
her stuff.
You're not going to get that for $60.
No.
And
no, she.
This is well balanced, man.
Extremely well balanced.
Not at 8 years old. That's the thing. You can get it for $60, but you're going to get that $10 a year, 6 year, some 4 year. I mean, you're seeing, different mash bills come out. Different distilleries putting out stuff at 150, 160. So we're trying to stay right in that nice, ballpark area where we can be an everyday drinker and still, put out a fantastic product like this. It's really, really good.
I mean, I'm surprised at the intensity you're getting here for 100 proof.
Was this aged at all here? Did y'all age this here?
Yes, it's been aged some here.
Okay,
yep.
Sweet. Well, that makes sense then.
And we still have a good bit of barrels that are still sitting in the warehouse aging too.
The finish is.
Speaking of finish,
right.
Right. Easy to
It's
drink.
3 in a row, man. You did that. That's 3 shows in a row. You did that.
It's.
I'm getting a really nice like a velvety cream on the back end of it, like a buttercream.
Like I said, berries and cream. That's what I get.
This is really good, man.
And then you get the viscosity, which again is not something you get out of a lot of 100 proofers, but that age coming in there is bringing you some things. It's bringing you some of the barrel in there. It's bringing you some of the viscosity.
Right.
That you wouldn't normally get on some of the 100 proof shelfers that you would typically go for.
Todd said he's looking forward to picking his bottle up. This is, I honestly, with our group, I think this would be a hit with our group, a big time. Just based on a lot of what a lot of our palates gravitate towards, I think this would be a big hit with our group.
Do y'all do any online retail?
So not with the Whiskey Tree currently yet. We do some selling through Big Thirst, which is a new company that we just started with. And then we have some of our bourbon available on Seal Box. So
I thought y'all did Seal Box. So
we just signed with Big Thirst as well. Big Thirst is a new platform that we're going to be doing a lot of business through as well.
Y'all got any news? Anything you want to get out there at the distillery? Anything?
So we have some single barrels that are available at the distillery. There is a honey barrel available there.
Oh God, go get you some of that honey barrel.
Yeah, we did a Louisiana honey. So really, really cool project. I went to Bernard's Apiaries in Breaux Bridge, and picked up 55 gallons of Louisiana spring honey. It was very bright, vibrant, very, very herbaceous, and you get a lot. I got a lot of lavender and flower notes on it. We dropped that into 4 barrels, let it age for 5 months in the heat, rolling the barrels around, making sure they're well coated. Dumped the honey out, and then filled it with Bywater 4-grain in 2 barrels, Bywater wheated bourbon in 1 barrel, and then a toasted Bywater 4-grain in 1 barrel. So the toasted Bywater 4-grain went to Acquista Paces. It sold out in 3 weeks. Everybody really loved that one. The Bywater wheated honey barrel went to Spillway Wine and Spirits in Jackson,
Okay.
Brandon, and that one did very well this weekend. They just dropped it on Saturday, and then we have the Distillery Honey Barrel as well. So that one's selling at the Distillery. We have one more store, River Ridge Wine and Spirits. Will be getting a Honey Barrel as well. Very limited amount of cases on that one. So once it's gone, it's gone. We're going to do it again, but those barrels specifically tasted really, really nice.
Man, we did some stuff at the Distillery with y'all not long ago, and we got to try some of that stuff out of those barrels with Luca. Luca was there with us, and man, y'all are onto something with that. You know, there was one that y'all had, and I'm gonna keep on saying it was number 6.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what it was, but man, it just tasted old. I even asked Luca, was this the old one out of the few that we had? He goes, yeah, that's the oldest of the few. Like, it just took on that oak. And it wasn't crazy old. It wasn't like 10, 12 years old. It was 8 years old, I think he said.
Yeah.
It's that Louisiana
That's that heat.
love
baby.
heat.
Yeah. The more our barrels stay swollen from the heat and the humidity, the more interaction we're getting with the pores of the wood, getting a lot of those vanillins, getting a lot of those oak tannins. So
I can only imagine what it's doing right now. Like, you know, you figure we're in December. Today is, I think it's going to be like 68 degrees. Yesterday was 52 degrees. Tomorrow's going to be 70. Then it's going to flip back into the 40s again.
I don't know if we ever dip below like the dormant temp yet, though, here. It's like
I
40
think
degrees?
40 degrees,
we
it
haven't-
goes
we
dormant,
haven't-
yeah.
Well, we have at night. But
I haven't wrapped my pipes yet, so probably not.
No, so yeah, I'm just curious. Like, I would imagine that, you know, it's probably hyper aging. You know,
no doubt, no
So-
doubt. I think you're getting a lot of push and pull inside that wood, and then you know, for us, we feel like when we taste older bourbons that have been in Kentucky or Canada, like we're getting that same style flavor out of the younger bourbons here because
Yeah.
we're getting all that wood interaction.
awesome. Y'all do tours daily?
Tours 7 days a week. We do anywhere from just a walking around tour and tasting to you can do a cocktail class. You can bottle your own bourbon right out the cask.
Prices range from.
Prices go from $15 to $150 if you do the bottle your own bourbon because you walk away with a cash drink single barrel. We have distillery gift shops. We added a whole bunch of gift sets for Christmas. So if you're looking for that last minute Christmas gift for somebody who wants to put together an old fashioned kit, you can come to the distillery, get the whole old fashioned kit or Bloody Mary kit or whatever that cocktail stuff that you're looking for. And then we have some new things. We dropped some socks in the distillery. I know you're a big fan of socks. I know we dropped some flasks. It's like some leather monogram flasks that are really cool. Some shirts, some hats, some hoodies.
Nice.
So we have an ample amount of stuff. We're about to start doing some chocolate pairings at the distillery. So we're working with an executive pastry chef.
Well, Todd's asking us if we're going to compare the two Whiskey Tree bottles. I mean, it's your bottles.
Yeah, I
Do
mean, we
do
certainly
wanna
can.
open them? You know, Todd, Whiskey Wizard. Listen, it's like you channeled us through your magic wand.
I
here.
will say this: if you see one of those blending classes pop up,
do it. Do
I would
it.
do that. That
Do
was
it.
one of the most fun.
I heard about that from him for months after we did that, and he's like, "Man, that was awesome."
I
And
could blend whiskey for just 3 hours.
So we're gonna do another one of those in Q1 of next year. We're looking forward to getting more of that kind of stuff on the books to get people very hands-on. They get to talk to Luca, they get to talk to me, they get to ask questions. People who are really big bourbon aficionados and big bourbon connoisseurs, they don't get a chance to blend very often. So it's a really fun experience to be able to do.
Cheers, Keith.
Cheers, Keith. Appreciate you, man.
Also shout out Mr. Mike. I got to run into Mr. Mike, one of our subscribers. We did the B-Tag tasting at Sazerac House yesterday. I got to run into him. He said he's been watching us and subscribing for a while. Thank you, Mr. Mike. We appreciate it. Always love running into people out there that that watch us and support us. So it's definitely appreciated.
Yes, indeed.
I need to finish this, guys. Listen, if that's a stocking stuffer right there, man. Like that. Well, get a heavy duty stocking, but stuff it with this. This is awesome.
Yeah, I mean you get a little bit of fruit, a little like
Yeah.
figgy fruit. You
That's
get a little bit of that earthy rye
Smell it now.
spice.
It's
You
been
get
sitting.
That's what I've got. I'm still working on. It's awesome, dude. You got maple.
it's gotten sweeter.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
It gets syrupy.
You get viscosity. You're getting 8-year-old high rye whiskey for craft
Popped
distillery
open.
for $60.
Keith
It's a
popped open
no-brainer.
his Whiskey Tree last night. Very nice pour. North Florida Bear. What's up, fellas? It's 5 o'clock somewhere. That
Did
is
he-
very
did he-
fair. That is very fair.
I'm assuming he popped this one. The
Which one did you
the
get,
weeded
Keith? Did you
one.
get the weeded one, or did you get the? Did you go to the distillery and pick up the high rye?
Although the high rise hitting shelves today, huh?
Hitting shelves today. He could have grabbed one. Well,
But y'all
actually,
had
I
it at the distillery
heard
for a week or so.
we
huh?
did, yeah. But I heard actually I was pouring at a Grand Cruise allocation event yesterday, and Canseco's had it out yesterday.
He's hand delivering 2 bottles. Yeah, which one? Which one did you get, Keith? Yeah. Did y'all pour this one?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
So the difference is between these two. This is a high rye bourbon, 8 years old. This weeded is a blend of 5-year and 9-year weeded bourbon, 45% wheat mash bill, out of Indiana. It is double oaked. These we've had barrels aging for like 3 years in the top part of the rick house, in our warehouse section where we're housing everything. I mean, it gets 140 degrees at the top of that warehouse, so you're getting a lot of barrel interaction. You're going to get a lot more complexities in the wheat flavor from the oak. This one, as sweet as this is, I feel like the wheat whiskey is super soft and sweet as well. You're not going to get as much berry, but you're going to get a whole lot more like honey, vanilla, and syrup, you know.
So would you say? I mean, as far as I think we were talking about this last night, but you would probably say that as far as like the average or beginner whiskey drinking, that the weeded might be a more approachable bottle.
Yes.
I can see that.
In the season.
For a lot of people, when they're first developing their palates, especially for bourbon, it's I'm not much of a rye fan, and the word rye scares them away. So they tend to go after the more weeded profiles, that sweet vanilla, oak, caramel, those quintessential bourbon flavors that come out from the weeded mash bills. And people are putting out a lot of good weeded products out there that are very popular. You know, your Pappies, your Wellers, all those things are weeded.
But I feel like 45% is kind of an unusual wheat percentage.
That seems
It
really
is.
high.
It is very high. So, you know, most of the time you're looking at like 20 to 30% wheat in a lot of the big time.
I know the
distillery
Bardstown
releases.
recent one was 39%. That was pretty high.
Sure.
So Keith,
So 45 is.
Keith picked his bottle up at the local grocer.
Oh, nice.
Right down the street, and he said he got it yesterday and cracked it last night. So,
Nice. Great.
it's fantastic, man. Well, yeah, let's try this other one and
Let's
just
do it.
Ooh, that's gonna be loud. My bad. But yeah, no, I remember when y'all dropped Whiskey Tree. I thought it was awesome. I remember seeing the bottle for the first time. I was like, that
It's
is
just a sexy bottle, dude.
it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
beautiful. Is that the same bottle as y'all's distillery only?
No, it's different because it's got the silk screen of the trees in the
No, I'm
background.
talking about the bottle itself, the bottle shape. I think it's the same. It looks like the same
It's
shape as
close, but it's a little bit taller and skinnier.
Oh,
Man,
okay.
this is rich.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting a lot of maple here.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of like maples, like just honey, syrup, caramel, oak.
Phil
like,
generally gets a lot of maple on the second pour of the day, generally, or the second go
through the same bottle.
so I get a lot of like bread, wheat, yeah, like that wheat dough.
The only
really comes through.
The only weeder I've ever gotten tons and tons of bread on, like I'm talking about like a loaf of bunny bread, would
You
be
say Old Elk?
Old Elk. That Old Elk.
So this
weeded.
is very similar to that high wheat mash bill. Nancy Fraley, who's the one who blended this, hearkened it back to like a 25-year-old cognac.
Okay.
Is the characteristics that when she was blending it, she tasted them side by side and thought that they were very similar.
Which one? What out of these two? I mean, without too much bias, do you have one that you lean towards?
So I like rye.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pick the high rye berries, that spice herbaceous level over that. But if I'm looking for something that I'm wanting to pair with something sweet, if I'm just drinking whiskey by myself, I'm gonna go with high rye. If I'm gonna have whiskey with a slice of cake or a dessert or a chocolate, I'm probably gonna actually like it with the wheat better.
Okay, that makes
A
sense.
nightcap pour.
Yeah, right. Like your post dinner. I'm gonna have a pour after I eat my vanilla ice cream, and then I'm gonna have a pour of whiskey. Boom. I'm gonna get a weeded bourbon.
You're gonna have 8 pounds of steak or some kind of beef.
Yes, no doubt.
I think something
Some
fun.
dessert.
We
I
could,
get the turf and turf, the steak and steak.
I think something fun when we get to a certain subscriber threshold. We need to throw like a get together or something at the distillery.
No doubt.
Kind of celebrate it and
Yeah.
invite everybody that watches and supports us. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, we should definitely do that. That would be great.
Man, this smells real. I mean, but I'm still getting a little bit of spice here, man. So
I'm not getting the spice on.
I don't get much spice on those.
more.
I get it towards the back end here.
I'm getting fruit. I'm getting a little bit of fruit, and I'm getting maybe just a hint of wheat, a hint of bread. but it's mostly fruit for me on this.
I'll tell you what, man. Like, I'm getting that weeded note, but honestly, it's not. So some of the things about like maybe that old elk, it kind of gets too bready, too doughy for me. This is more like a buttered popcorn.
Yes.
Buttered bread kind of note than it is like a doughy note.
Yeah, so
The viscosity, the mouthfeel on this is fantastic.
Yeah,
honestly,
it's
this
very viscous.
that's that 9 year really coming through, man. You really see a lot of vibrant oiliness. So like the oily part, if you like let it sit and like you start chewing on it a little bit, it's gonna sit on the back of your palate for a very long time. One thing that I get that a lot of people don't really necessarily talk about is that when you have this high of a wheat content, it becomes also a little bit of spice that you were talking about. I didn't want to influence you, but I get some, it's not like rye spice where it's like baking spices. This wheat spice is almost like when you eat the crust of a bread, and you it's the crust. I very much get that on this one.
This isn't like, and that's what has turned me off from a lot of wheated products. It's just kind of that uncooked doughy, just too prominent.
Right.
But this is just much more buttery.
So honestly,
me.
I like the doughiness. So like, my wife laughs at me because like I'll have her undercook cookies for me, or like bread with a little. I like bread a little bit undercooked because I like the dough flavor. I'm gonna tell you what this kind of it's so balanced, man. This is even better than I remember it being the first time I had it. That's what I was gonna say. It tastes toasted.
That's so these barrels aged a little bit longer in the oak than when we first made some batches, which is probably one of the earlier batches that you tried.
Yeah.
We followed Nancy's instructions to the T, and as soon as she said she thought these were ready, we pulled them and bottled them.
Okay.
So those were kind of the first batches that you tried with me were kind of, hey, we got what we think we're gonna get, but it wasn't ready yet.
Okay.
She said these were ready, and then now that's what we got in the bottle.
This is fabulous.
Honestly, these two they're closer than I was expecting.
Same.
To be.
I
because I was
definitely agree.
expecting to get a lot of that doughiness, given that it's 45% wheat.
Right.
But it's just not like it satisfies the wheat. Like if you like wheated whiskeys, it satisfies that craving, but it doesn't go like too intense with it or overboard.
And it's crazy too, as high the wheat content as it is. Like you'd think it would just be like balls to the wall bread.
Little fruit,
so
buttered popcorn, man.
One thing that Nancy harped on was the older these wheat whiskeys get, the more soft and sweet they'll be, and the more complex they get. Younger wheat whiskeys just don't have that complexity note because they get all that doughiness, right? So the longer these sit, the longer they double oak, the longer that they marry with the other, like in the blend together, it's going to get better. And we still have barrels sitting in the warehouse that we're hoping to turn, 10, 11, 12 years old. We have plenty of stuff that we're doing on the blending side when it comes to slow water reduction, Petito proofing water, all those things that are helping accelerate the flavor in what we're getting and getting out of the barrels. So,
what is Petito for those that don't know?
So Petito, for those that don't know, is actually when you take when we say we dump a barrel of whiskey tree, we'll fill that barrel up after with water, add whiskey to that barrel and bring it up to 20% ABV and basically barrel age that 20% water. For an undisclosed amount of time. So
what do y'all do with it?
That's what we use as our proofing water.
Okay,
so we take that fortified water and we use that to proof down our spirit, either with slow water reduction or adding it in at the end to bring it down the couple points it needs to 100 proof.
Man, that's cool.
So I like
there's so much knowledge right here, man. It's just crazy.
I just like to tell people it's like making gumbo. Are you gonna use water? Or are you gonna use chicken stock? You're gonna use chicken stock, right? So it's got the most flavor. So that's basically what we're doing when we're using our proofing water. Any water that goes in there has been fortified in oak for at least a year, 6 months.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Well, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. For real. Not. I don't generally like weeded. I like this a lot.
I like this also.
That's really good,
I'm
man.
surprised that I honestly wasn't expecting to like it that much.
Are
but
you leaning more towards the weeded one? It's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's real tough because they're totally different experiences, but they both do have a level of balance, and they both have they both give you a little fruit, they both give you a little spice. One gives you a little more richness. One gives you a little bit more, I think, intensity as far as the spices and the fruit go. I think one's a little more intense. One's a little softer, but that mid palate on this one, where you would typically expect that doughiness, was just a sweet buttered corn.
So for me,
popcorn to me, and I was just pleasantly surprised.
There you go.
But as far as wheats go, this is
A1.
This is especially I can't see if you like the weeded because you like that kind of breadiness that you would not like this because you're getting that, but you're not just getting that, and it's not overwhelming, and that's kind of.
Well, the other thing that's pretty cool too is that both of these are 100 proof, right? And so it's like we're not comping a 125 proof to a 103 proof. You know what I mean? So for me,
I will say the Louisiana Love on the high rise a little tick up.
For me, I think that on the weeded one, I think you get a better mouthfeel. I think they coat your palate really, really, really well. But my palate gravitates towards the spice.
I thought they were both pretty. That one was viscous.
It was very viscous, but I think this one, the way this one just and that just might be a weeded thing for me because there's a couple of other wheats that it has that effervescent quality on the back of my palate, on the back of my tongue, and that's usually how I can identify if I'm drinking a wheat, whether I taste it or not. But if I get that kind of that tickling sensation on the back, it's something in the wheat that does it. It's cool. It's a cool feel. But I definitely like the spice on this.
Well, I was getting the spice on the weeded one kicks in right when the finish is kicking in. You're getting some spices, and I kind of think that balances out some of the buttery softness on the initial palate. And that's generally you're the opposite of me. You like spice to dessert. I like the richness up front fading to a spice.
Yeah.
I just think this nose is just really, like you said, dark, decadent, rich.
It's so rich. It's so rich.
It
And
is.
the longer it's sat, the more rich it's gotten. And I think that just the difference in, like we were talking about earlier, what people gravitate towards, what y'all were just talking about, it really is great to be able to try both, and you really can get a real understanding on where you are and what you like in your whole bourbon journey. So if you like this, you're going to like more sweet stuff. If you like this, you're going to like more spicy stuff. And the great part about it is you're not wrong in either aspect, And it could be a different day. On Monday, you want something a little sweeter. On Wednesday, you want something with a little oomph and that Louisiana love to it. You know what I mean? So,
Todd, both of these need to be in the briefcase next year.
So if you want to, I dropped it. Dang it.
This guy.
So if you want to get a Christmas gift for, the person in your life that likes whiskey, drinks whiskey, even if they tend to go after the allocated bottles, this would be a good option. Both of these, because one, they're two different options, but two, they're craft distilleries. Probably a lot of people in this area haven't had the opportunity to taste it yet. And that's, to me, what I shoot for. If you're trying to get a whiskey for someone that's been drinking whiskeys for years, they've tasted just about all the big name brands, the common brands, your makers and everything like that. I could buy this for you, Eric, who's been liking bourbon forever, and you might not have ever
Exactly
tasted it. So that's the kind of what I tend to skim towards for the whiskey drinker that has everything.
And listen, there's nothing wrong with allocated bourbon, right? And we're not trying to trash on that at all, right? But our thing is, I like supporting craft distillers, local distilleries. You know, them Middle West, for example. I haven't seen anything from them in a while, but I like the idea that, you know, it's not just this big mass production. You know, just everything's the same. Let's all throw it together. We know Adam, right? Adam comes on the show with us and talks to us, and he can explain what actually went into this. You know, so it's all of that is great. You know,
I'll tell you what I like about craft distillery. They tend to be a little more willing to experiment
yes,
and try some things that perhaps the bigger labels might be more hesitant to do because they've got to
Phil,
worry about.
Todd said, "Don't tell him what to do."
I'm going to tell you what to do.
So don't tell Todd what to do.
So you were bringing up new experimental stuff. So we're going to be very invested and heavily in the single barrel market coming in 25.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be coming out with some experimental stuff. So be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
They got some some fancy code that it's going to say on the bottle,
No-
like 126 or something
no,
like that.
no code. It'll be pretty well advertised. What's
Sorry,
going
Jeff.
on.
I tried to get him on that, but you know.
But it'll be something that'll be different than any other distillery out there
Yes.
that we know of in the United States. So we want to be able to stand out, but still create a quality product. Like we're going to put out single barrels of Whiskey Tree, cash strength.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's right up our alley.
Yeah, it's going to be phenomenal. We're going to put out some finishing barrels of our Bywater bourbon line. That'll be cash strength. That'll be just completely different than what we've done before or what anybody else has done before. So trying to stay on that cutting edge to where we are experimenting, but we still want to be able to put out a quality product that we can be proud of. Is something that is near and dear to what we're trying to do.
Hell yeah. Best looking bottle in the business, honestly. I'm talking about the Bywater.
Oh yeah,
I think it's the medicinal or the medicine bottle.
Yeah.
Love it. I think it's great.
Packaging's great.
Packaging is great. Marketing is great. Whoever runs y'all's social media team is a beast. Just being honest.
That's just me, buddy.
Well, yeah, I tried. Guys, listen. You should see us before Christmas. Round 1, bracket 3 of the playoffs should be up tomorrow.
And then we'll have to have 2.
And we're gonna have
Same week.
Our poor livers by the end of this
Final
week
4 and our champion.
for you guys. Yeah, I mean, listen, no real major upsets yet. We almost had an upset in the episode that's gonna drop.
Debatable, but yes, I would consider it an upset.
No, almost. It wasn't an upset.
No, I was saying it would. Some people would
yeah.
say that maybe Coy Hill winning would not be.
I'm talking about my upset.
Oh.
So, which again, you know, there's people out there that would probably also do that. So
Probably.
that's a fascinating bracket, guys. Make sure to watch that one.
Sure.
Adam,
Well, are we able to put kind of their Instagram stuff in the?
no, because we didn't prep.
No,
with
after
that.
you post it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
I'll put it. I'll
Instagram
put it
stuff.
in the. I'll put it in the. Yeah, I'm gonna put Adams and 7-3's Instagram and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
in the
like,
description.
follow, subscribe, unsubscribe, then resubscribe, comment, and then like again.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Oh.
And listen, if you got anything out of this, and even if you didn't, hit the like, comment, subscribe button. We appreciate it. Adam appreciates it. Phil, out.
I'm gonna nail it today.
Merry Christmas Eve, guys.
Nail it. Here
No,
it goes.
he's not nailing this.
Come on.
It was kind of
Come
close.
on.
It was kind of
Come
close.
on.
Win got it.